Shields up, Ironbreakers. Huracan here coming at you with another video. Welcome back to Monster Hunter World Iceborne. And today I'm going to be talking about something that I feel I should have talked about pretty much at the start of this event. But because I was busy keeping up with the PC version, doing live streams over on Twitch and all of that jazz, you know, some videos just ended up getting pushed back, and this is one of them. In this video, I will be telling you guys about how you can get yourself a bunch of decorations, armor spheres, points, and Zenny using the Steamworks, and how you can go and get more fuel for the Steamworks, and what rituals you should be doing in the Elder Melder to try and get as much of these things as you possibly can. So a question that I get asked a lot either during on live stream or in video comments is people asking me, Huracan, how can I get this specific decoration or that specific decoration? And there really isn't an easy reply to this, okay? The way that this works is all of your decorations are going to be of a certain rarity. The higher the rarity, you know, the more valuable the decoration can be. Sometimes it's not always like that, but as a general rule of thumb, that's how things work. So if you go to your investigations and you go to your tempered investigations, that is the most traditional way of you getting your decorations. And then the way that it works is if you guys look below the box in the middle squares, you'll notice that there's like 2 flames on here. That means that this is a tier 2 tempered monster, which means you're going to be getting tier 2 quality of rewards. You can still get like some of the best decorations from a tier 2 monster, but ideally the higher the tier of the monster, the better the decorations are going to be. That's just kind of like the usual rule of thumb, right? So for instance, this Zenogre right here is a tier 2. That means that he's not going to be too hard, and he's still going to give you like 5 rewards in this specific investigation, and there's a good chance of you getting some decent decorations that way. If you then drop down 1, you'll notice this is a Gold Rathian. Gold Rathian's a little bit harder, therefore this one is a threat level 3 or a tier 3 monster. You'll notice that by the 3 flames on there, which means the decorations that you get from this particular monster are going to be considerably more valuable. But like I said, this is the traditional way of you getting decorations, and it's also a way for you to get decorations if you just feel like hunting a monster. You're like, dude, I just want to go hunt some monsters, have some fun, get some decos. This is the way that you want to do it. On the other hand, maybe you're a little bit tired, right? You're like, dude, I've been hunting monsters all day. I just want to chillax a little bit. Maybe I want to watch a little bit of Netflix on the side, as opposed to just doing the hard work of constantly killing monsters for my decorations. Well, during events like the one that is occurring right now, which is the Appreciation Festival, during these events, what Capcom has been doing is they've been providing us with unique rewards on the Steamworks, which is why this particular bit of advice is going to be much more important during events than not, because only during events you're going to be able to get the melding tickets. At least I don't think these melding tickets are going to be available outside of events. I actually don't remember, because we've been in events for so long now. It's kind of like we had the Joyful event, then we had the Appreciation event. It's just like been event after event. I don't actually remember the in-between time almost, but I don't think you get the melding tickets when you're outside of events. So this is something that you can think about when we get to the Spring Festival, which is going to be, I think, probably around April, May, around those times. We're going to get the Spring Festival, at which point you will be able to do this method again. But the current festival ends at like the 13th or something, so at that point you're not going to be able to do what I'm about to tell you right now. But anyway, you see you can get gold melding tickets, silver melding tickets, and steel melding tickets. Again, this only happens during festivals. So what you want to do, you just want to come up to your Steamworks and just use the Steamworks. But you guys are like, oh, but I have limited fuel, because you haven't really been grinding for fuel, right? And I'm going to tell you guys how you can go and you can get more fuel. But also remember, you're not just getting silver melding tickets and, you know, steel melding tickets and all of that stuff. You're getting a whole bunch of more stuff from using the Steamworks. Namely, you can get Celestial Wyverian prints if you're lucky, which allows you to exchange for rare materials like mantles and stuff like that. You're getting armor spheres. As a matter of fact, the overdrive bonus for today is going to be King Armor Sphere, which means you get guaranteed a King Armor Sphere just for completing the Steamworks, which, by the way, if I'm not mistaken, during the events, the Steamworks also tend to go a little bit faster than normal. And on top of that, you're also getting consumables, which I'm not even going to mention the titles of this video because nobody cares about consumables, but to give you guys an idea, right now I have like 7,000 something mega potions. I'm probably never going to have to craft another mega potion throughout the duration of the rest of the game just because I've done so much Steamworks. And Steamworks is something that is fairly easy to do. The one thing that you do need to get, though, is the stored fuel. But before we get to the stored fuel, let's talk about those melding tickets because you guys want to know how you can get decorations out of this, because decorations is one of the things that a lot of people want to get. Now for decorations, you want to come and have a word with the Elder Melder here. We all know her, we all hate her because she usually takes good decorations from us and then she just throws them in the trash, okay? So let's talk about some more traditional means of getting decorations which are available at all times, not just during festivals, right? So first, if you're looking for basic decorations, you can actually meld them right here. I already did a tutorial on this. Some of you guys might have seen it, but some of you guys have just got in with Iceborne expansion, so you might not be aware of it. But you can get stuff like defense, fire resistance, water resistance, ice resistance, so all the resistances, as well as all of the elemental damage decorations, the tier 1s, you can get all of those here, as well as you can get vitalities as well. You can meld these by using other decorations that you don't need. So like, one of the things that I had to do on PCs, I had to meld a couple of vitality jewels because I just didn't have them. On PC, I had no vitality jewels whatsoever. So I had to meld these from other decorations that I did not need, okay? So this is one of the traditional ways of just like very easily getting a specific decoration that you need. But I wouldn't advise you to go this route, particularly while the event is going on. This is not the best way to do it. This is, if you're outside of the event and you need one of these specific decorations, you can come here, you can meld it, and Bob's your uncle. However, during the event, there's a much better way of getting all of these decorations and then some by using the melding tickets, okay? Now, the other way, which is also a traditional way, is you can go and you can do first Wyverian rituals. Now, the two most important ones in the Wyverian rituals, I would actually not advise you to do anything else at this point in the game. This is right now the 9th of February 2019, and there's no better melding technique than the two ones that I'm going to tell you, which is Strange Stream Plus and Soul Stream 2. Okay, so Strange Stream Plus is just in case you are someone who played a lot of Monster Hunter World and you have a lot of stream stones left over, right? When you transition into Iceborne, stream stones are useless. You don't need Warrior Streamstone Blades, Warrior Streamstone Hammer. You need none of these, okay? They're completely useless to you. So if for whatever reason you still need some of the older decorations, like say for instance Critical Boost decoration or Tenderizer decoration, you know, some of those that you ended up not getting during Monster Hunter World, Strange Stream is one of the best ways to get it. This is how I got my first Mind's Eye decoration, and I don't think I've gotten a single one since then. You can just come in here and you can pick whatever stream stone you want. It doesn't really matter. I'm gonna just use a bunch of them just as an example. Oh, did I already max it out? It doesn't even matter, whatever. I maxed it out. And as you can see, we got 3 warped face stones. These are really good to get those old decorations that you weren't able to get. I'm going to meld these just as an example. It's not going to be, I'm probably not going to get anything useful, but you guys will get an idea of the types of decorations that you can get, right? So, meld those. We got a poison coat, we got a goblin, we got an enhancer. Again, not particularly good decos, but you do this a bunch of times and you might be able to get some of the decos that you want. And if you end up not getting them, that's fine, because you can still get decorations that are good for you to use in Soul Stream 2. Now you guys are like, oh, but this one uses Spirit Vein Solid Bones. Yes, this requires you to actually do a little bit of hunting in the Guiding Lands so that you can get enough Spirit Vein Solid Bones to actually come in here and gamble for this. And then you can go, and I say gamble because it's just like, it's a fun thing that we say in Arkham. It's not actually gambling. You're just like exchanging decorations for the chance of more random decorations, which is kind of like gambling, I guess, but whatever. So you can come in here and you can see which decorations you might have that you're not going to need. So for instance, like, earplugs maintenance, you know, you're only ever going to need 3 maintenance decos tops. You're never going to need more than 3 because, you know, you can only stack that skill up to 3. So maybe you can get rid of one of these. What else we got here? Throttle evasion. These are actually 2 skills that go up to level 5. We got Phoenix decos. You know, I'm never going to need more than 3 Phoenix decos, so I can use a bunch of these that I've already gotten. Be careful, though, not to meld away points that you you know, you can actually save for other melding. So for instance, right here, melding points needed 64. This thing is worth 128, so I can totally just use another one of these, but you shouldn't because you're basically wasting 64 points. So I should go look for something that's 64 points that I don't need, like for instance, potential maintenance, because again, maintenance only stacks up to 3, so whatever, boom, use one of these. You meld these, and you know, if you're lucky, these are actually going to get you like tier 4 decorations, as well as some of the more rare decorations from the base game of Monster Hunter World. But again, these are things that you need to do a bunch of times in order to actually get something good. Like, got a Throttle Vitality in here, Guardian Expert. This might be useful for someone that plays Lance, for instance. Guardian Expert's actually a pretty decent deco, and a Steadfast +4. This is actually all right. Steadfast +4 is not bad. I mean, I have a bunch of them already, but Steadfast +4 is actually a pretty good deal. But that's how it works. Just keep in mind to only meld decorations that you don't actually need, and then you get decorations that you might get. That's how you do the basic Elder Melder stuff. So now let's talk about the things that are available during the festivals, which, like I told you, is the Steel Alchemy tickets, the Silver Alchemy tickets, and the Gold Alchemy tickets, okay? Okay, so look, Steel Alchemy is basically only going to give you the most basic of decorations, okay? And you can just come in here and, you know, pop all the tickets in. This, usually you have to do it 40 at a time. And if you do a bunch of Steamworks, you will have a lot of decorations in here, okay? And again, I'll show you guys how to get fuel for those Steamworks, okay? But, you know, you can just get 40 steel melding tickets, boom. You do this, and you're gonna get all of those decorations. I'm gonna appraise, and instead of actually looking at them individually, I'll just hit the take all, and you can see we got some footing jewels, some dragon jewels, recovery jewels, venom. We actually got some decent ones, like we got some tenderizer in there. That's not bad. We got some tenderizer, we got some brace, we got some more things, but for whatever reason I can't, oh, I can check rewards, okay. We got some brace, vitality, slider. This is why I told you it's not really worth it to buy the other decorations, the ones that costed like 1,000 points and something. It's not really worth it for you to buy them because you can go to the Steamworks during events and you can get all of these. Wow, we got some Destroyer Elementalist. This is actually not bad. This is not a bad haul at all. So yeah, and you get all these, boom. Now, I'm not going to do that again, but then you get Silver Alchemy. Okay, so now Silver Alchemy are going to get a higher tier of decorations, but still only up until, you know, level 3 decorations. So you're not going to get the level 4 decorations on Silver Alchemy. So I'm going to pop all of these as well. I only have 34 because I haven't been doing it all that much. I don't tend to grind for decorations that much anymore because I have most of the things that I really care to have at this point. So let's take a look at our haul this time around. You're going to check, we got 3 Guardian Jewels. This is very good if you play Lance, at least in my opinion it is. You got a Resistor, you got a Paralyzer deco in there. This is actually really rare. These are worth about either 64 or 128 points if you're doing the melding rituals that we talked about earlier. You got a Fury, you got a Spread Jewel. A lot of people want Spread Jewels. You got Brace, you got Throttle, Satiated, Poison Coat, Iron Wall. 3 Iron Wall Jewels right there. You got a Handicraft. You got a Pierce Jewel, you got a Force Shot Jewel. So these are some of the rarer stuff. Like, look, got a Critical Jewel, Tenderizer Jewel. This is, again, this is not a bad haul, like I said. So the silver tickets are going to give you a higher rarity of decorations, right? And then you have the gold tickets. Okay, so very important thing here. I don't actually think it's worth it for you to concern yourself too much with gold melding tickets. This is going to give you the tier 4s. It's the best tier of decorations that you can get, but it's still extremely random. And gold melding tickets are way too rare. Like, the reason this is so useful is for the silver tickets. These are the tickets that you want to shoot for in case you're still missing, like, you know, your Mind's Eye decos, your Critical Boost decos, some of those older decos that you still need. That's when you can really get some stuff. Now, with the gold alchemy, like I said, you can get tier 4s, but very rarely do you actually get good tier 4s. So I can show you right here. We're going to get just Charger Protection, Challenger Maintenance, Refresh Evasion, Jumping Expert. Jumping Expert's all right if you play Gunlance. Sprinter Attack, Draw Maintenance, Throttle Protection, Enhanced Vitality, Hard Defense. So I wouldn't really consider any of these to be that great, except maybe the Jumping Expert. The KO Medicine could potentially be useful. Dragon Jewel if you happen to be doing a dragon build. But ultimately, these particular decos don't mean that much to me, which is why I don't really farm for those this way. I mean, if you really want to get the rare decos, that's when you go back to the initial thing that I told you about, where you want to go and you want to do the tier 3 tempered monster investigations, right? Now, another thing that you can do during events, and this one, the credit for this actually goes to CaoSlayer. I'm going to see if I can remember to link his channel. I'm terrible about linking stuff in the description. I'm going to try to make sure that I give him a shout out, because I already gave him a shout out on the community page on my YouTube channel. But basically, one of the things that you can do is you can just come to events, and this is not just during festivals and stuff, because the event might come back, but you just grab Flora Frostbite. It's a really good event for this. I'll show you guys how we're going to do it real fast, and I'll show you guys why it's such a good thing. So first of all, you want to come to this event from Northeast Camp number 15. And if you have the Assassin's Creed mantle, make sure to use that. I'm going to skip through the loading screens because this is on PS4. Okay, so as soon as you land here, what you want to do is you want to equip your Assassin's Hood. I didn't even eat because you don't really need to eat in order to do this quest. If you don't have Assassin's Hood, don't worry too much about it. Just follow this route that I'm about to show you. Once you exit the base, make a left and pick up these frozen foliages, and you probably only need like 2 or 3 of them if you use the build that I will show you guys at the end of this video. And then just keep running here. There's going to be another one, and there's a third one up ahead just in case you don't get all of them. And if you end up not using the build that I suggest, you know, you can get this stuff from here, but there's another one right here, because if you don't use this build, you're not going to get as many gathers. You're not going to be able to get stuff as fast as I do. But as you can see, there's going to be another frozen foliage right here. And then if you go in this direction, there's another one right there. And then there's a few more ahead of that point. So it's very fast to go through this quest, okay? And why would you want to do this quest? Because there's a chance of you getting decorations in this quest. Like, as you'll see, we got 2 decorations. And these particular decorations can turn out to be tier 4s. They may also not be tier 4s, but they can be tier 4s. So it is a way for you to farm some of the more basic tier 4s. Like you can see right there, we got one, and it is a Guardian Expert, which is actually not a bad decoration like I told you earlier. We also got a Rarity 6 one, which is not that great. We did the quest in about 31 seconds. So, you know, if you just repeat this quest over and over, you can get yourself a lot of decorations without necessarily having to go and hunt monsters, okay? Again, this is more if you guys are like, oh, I just feel like chilling out, watching some Netflix, not even paying that much attention, but still want to be doing something in the background. This is one of the things that you can do. Now, I would advise you guys to use this particular build. Like, I'll show you guys the build, and then I'll show you another use of this build is to actually go and get fuel for the Steamworks, okay? But I'll show you guys what the build is looking like on the PS3, on the PS4. But it's also fairly easy to do this build on PC with maybe a couple of less things, right? So if we go to set decorations right here, you guys can see that we got Safi's Shatterfang and all of that jazz. Doesn't really matter. The only difference if you don't have Safi on PC is that instead of using the sealed dragon cloth right here, you'll have to use a Kirin helmet because we are relying on great luck. Again, the credit for this particular quest and all that stuff goes to CaoSlayer. He's the first person that I saw do it, so whatever. But this is the build that I use, and basically it's just very much a convenience build. The only thing that you really need for a gathering set is Botanist, Geologist, and everything else is just kind of like bonus, right? Master Gatherer makes it so that you gather stuff faster. Forager's Luck makes it so that the spawn points respawn faster. Cold Proof and what's the other one? Cold Proof and Heat. I think it's Heat Protection. Heat Guard. Cold Proof and Heat Guard just makes it so that you don't have to drink cold and hot potions. I also have Hunger Resistance so that my stamina never decreases. I got Stamina Surge and Marathon Runner so that I can just like run all over the map and never run out of stamina. But you know, these are mostly convenience things. The stuff that matters is Botanist, Geologist, and Master Gatherer. Forager's Luck is also cool to have though. But yeah, that's the stuff that I use. You guys can see all of the things in the set. I use Ghillie Mantle and Assassin's Hood. Assassin's Hood makes you run a lot faster This comes from the Assassin's Creed event, which will be available during festivals and stuff. So you might want to get on that if you don't have Assassin's Hood yet. It's one of the best things whenever you're just like grinding for materials, as in mining nodes and bones and stuff like that. It's really good. And then the Ghillie Mantle, because just in case there's a monster that shows up and catches you a little bit off guard, you just pop that Ghillie Mantle on and run away and move on with your life, because you don't really want to be engaged in combat with this set. I mean, you know, I've done it. It's not the smartest thing to do, but every now and then I just feel like slapping a bitch around a little bit. Like I slapped the Baroth around with this set, and it works fine. And you know, it is what it is. It's a pretty decent set for grinding that kind of stuff, and that is how you can actually go and get yourself some fuel, right? So let's take ourselves to the Guiding Lands, because that is going to be one of the best spots to get Steamworks fuel. Okay, so once you get to the Guiding Lands, the first thing you want to do is head over to one of these canteen spots and go ahead and use a gourmet voucher. And I know some of you guys are going to go like, what do you mean a gourmet voucher, dude? We didn't talk about gourmet vouchers. I have very few of those. You're going to have a lot more of them once you start doing what I'm going to tell you here. So then you go eat a meal, custom platter, and you should make this into your own custom thing. But you want to go over to the drinks, right? And you want to get yourself 2 of the green ones, or is it 4 of the green ones? No, it's actually 4 of the green ones, which gives you Feline Exchanger. It's going to increase the number of research points you receive at the end of the quest, because at the end of the day, you also want to optimize the number of points that you get, because that is going to be used in the melding of decorations. So the more decorations you meld, or if you happen to be doing Safi Jiva and doing a bunch of Safi Jiva weapons through melding and stuff like that, you're going to need a lot of points. Like I know that Kagran is still starved for points because he burned all of his points doing Safi Jiva stuff, right? So Feline Exchanger is a very useful buff to get while you're just out and about gathering, because it will increase the number of points that you will get, and you don't really need offensive stuff while you're gathering. So make sure to get that particular buff. The buff will only wear out if you die, but you shouldn't be dying with this particular set. And then you want to get your brew stuff, which gives you Feline Harvester, which reduces the time between gathering point respawns. And we already have Forager's Luck, which I believe stacks with this. We have Forager's Luck on our belt, so stuff is going to be respawning considerably faster when you get both of these buffs. And then after you get them, you know, what you want to do is just want to go out and start gathering. Now, if you haven't done a lot of gathering in the Guiding Lands, you might be wondering like, oh my god, but it's so hard to, you know, figure out where the spawn points are and all that stuff. Just run around and hug walls, okay? Eventually you'll figure out. Like for instance, this area, there's nothing in this area. There's never gonna be anything in this area unless they dramatically change how the Guiding Lands work. But once you cross this particular threshold, you'll find one right about, usually there's one here. In this particular case, there isn't. There's usually another mining node right here, and again, it's not, you know, sometimes you get unlucky, particularly when you're making videos, because the game likes to troll you. Sometimes there's a bone spot here, which also there is. This is great, but there is stuff up there, so you want to just like, yep. And there we go. This is the first one, and as you will notice, we're going to be gathering a lot faster than normal, because we have Master Gatherer and stuff. And that right there is a Dragon Vein Coal Chunk and another one, and these are all going to give you a significant boost to your Steamworks. Now, if you guys go to the start of the video, you will see how much I had in my Steamworks. Now, we're gonna go back here. Here, there's another spot where there's a bone. You have to kind of like get used to finding these. There is a skill in a necklace which reveals stuff. I forget what the name of the skill is, but you can go through the charms and you'll be able to find like a special charm that gives you, you know, it reveals in the map when you go by a bone section or something like that. So the big bone just spawned right here. There's 2 spots where it can spawn. I'm not going to tell you all of the little spots. Like, you do have to pay some attention when you're grinding out here, but here's what I can tell you. After a couple of runs, like, you'll begin to understand where stuff usually spawns, because it tends to spawn in the exact same spot every time. And I believe there's probably even maps online that you can find where will tell you exactly all of the spawn spots. But basically, you just want to run around through the Guiding Lands. Again, like I said, this is the type of stuff that you do if you want to be like watching Netflix, or you just don't want to be hunting monsters and stuff like that. And then just hug these walls, and usually there's another node there, but we were kind of unlucky. If you're also trying to get, you know, some more special tracks and stuff, you can also pick up the Signs of a Turf War. Usually I don't tend to do that unless I'm specifically looking to also get additional monsters and stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much the coral zone all mined out. And at that point, you just jump into different zones. I always like to start with the coral. Actually, we missed one spot back there, but it doesn't matter. I usually like to swap between different zones. You might need specific materials from one zone, which, you know, you might want to stick around that particular zone for longer if you want to. Me, I just kind of like, I hover around all of the zones so that I always have materials from every single location. And you can even come up with like optimized routes that you can just like run a loop through and just get a bunch of mats that way. I don't do that because, again, I just like roaming the guiding land. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grind for a little bit here, like, I don't know, let's say about 10 minutes. And then I'll show you guys how much we've made in just about 10 minutes. We're about 2,200 or something. I'll probably put a still of the amount of fuel we had before we did this particular run. And then I'll show you guys what our Steamworks is looking like after the 10 minutes of grinding from this point onwards. Okay, so that was actually a little bit less than 10 minutes, but because of the fact that I don't pay too much attention to which zones I go to, I filled up my inventory and I didn't feel like going back. Our Palico has gathered some stuff as well, and now I hear some of you guys asking, but wait a minute, Rurikon, if you're just looking for fuel for the Steamworks, then why the hell are you picking up bones? And that's the thing, I'm not just looking for fuel for Steamworks. Like I said in the video, we're doing Steamworks and research points. Bones have a chance of giving you those special account items that give you like 700 points or something. So those will then get multiplied up by the food buff that you get. And you guys will see right here, we got like 11,000 points. Like, this wasn't just 10 minutes, and it was a super poorly optimized run, all right? 11,000 points, research points, in a super poorly optimized run. Like, if you eventually figure out like, oh, I want to do like a route with this, you can get considerably more than that in 10 minutes. And I do mean considerably more than that, okay? So we got the 11,500 points, and on top of it, we're still gonna get some more stuff for the Steamworks. Okay, so as you can see right now in our Steamworks, we have 21,755. We're gonna go ahead and help the Steamworks. It's gonna automatically convert these, and we already have 3,900 more points into the Steamworks in just 10 minutes. Okay, again, if you do a better run than I did, which was not that great, you're going to be able to get a lot more points than that. And then you can just come in here and you can start working through your Steamworks. You just press R2. My personal method is I just grab like a piece of folded paper and I use that to stick in between the R2 and the R1 on my controller. If you're playing on PC, you can just put something on top of your space bar. If you're on your Xbox, just get a rubber band or something. Basically, just tie stuff down so that it'll stay here and it'll stay doing it. Now, you do have to reset it every cycle. So every time that you fully complete the thing and you see the little animation, you have to come back and reset it. But you can be fairly AFK. You get a couple of minutes in between them. You guys are like, oh, but what about the cats minigame? You don't have to do the cats minigame. It's whatever. It's a speed bump in the grand scheme of things. If you want to do it actively and you want to complete it when the cats come around, you can do that too. But if not, it's fine. You can just like steam through that with the R2 press. It's not even a problem, okay? Now, I'm not going to sit here and do the whole thing all over again, but then it takes us to the final thing, which is you can also get the golden eggs when you do this. Now, I don't know if I have any because I believe I've sold my stuff even recently. But after you get all of that, you're like, okay, so now I have to go into my item box, and I have to go find the golden eggs and all of that stuff. No, you just go to sell items, And then there's a special button there that says sell all trade-in items. This basically sells all of the items that serve no purpose other than to get you Zenny. So you can just do that. And as you can see, I had probably a couple of gold eggs stocked up. It's going to give me 140,000 Zenny. Now, I know it's not much, but that's because I did my stuff like yesterday, I think. Even just yesterday I did it. And today I think I only did like one complete run of Steamworks. So yeah, you can get yourself a ton of Zenny that way. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is decorations, armor spheres, research points, and Zenny farms using alternative methods other than actually hunting monsters. And again, I'm not saying that you shouldn't hunt monsters. I'm saying, you know, sometimes you just want to chill out a little bit. You've been hunting monsters, you don't feel like being super engaged in there. And you can do this instead to get yourself some consumables, some armor spheres, points, Zennies, all of that jazz. And hopefully this also explained to some people that maybe didn't know how to do the Elder Melder stuff. Hopefully you guys learned something. If you did, make sure to hit that like button because it does help me out a lot when you hit the like button to go through the algorithm and all of that jazz. If you enjoy my content, subscribe and hit the bell notification icon so that YouTube actually tells you whenever I put out another video. I put out a lot of Monster Hunter content. Probably going to be doing some Dark Souls stuff here pretty soon as well. But for now, that is going to be it. Remember, follow me on Twitch if you want to check out the live streams, all of that cool stuff. Stay strong, and may your shields never break.